about your defense that could be answered this week?
Well, I mean, I think there's questions every week. I mean, again, how those guys react and respond. We evaluate on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. We tell them that all the time. And there's certain things like we've talked about that we evaluate for them, and it's not the things that a lot of times are talked about by the media or their parents or those kinds of people. But the reality is there's a few areas that we evaluate on an everyday basis, and those are the things we want to make sure our guys focus on. And each week it's we evaluate the film.
How pleased are you with their progress?
I think it's moving in the direction we want to.
You seem to be moving up.
Yeah. I mean, we all that's again, it's never satisfied. So it's a really tough life to live sometimes. But the reality is we always ask ourselves, can we play harder? And Coach always comes in and asks us the same thing. Are you really playing as hard as you possibly can? And there's always room for that. Nobody ever really truly plays as hard as everybody thinks they should or could. And so we continue to harp on those things. But the progress and the things that we evaluate and the things that we're working for, we definitely see the progress.
Is it all technical, or is there the effort?
No, there's a lot. I mean, again, those things, what we talk about, we don't coach effort anymore. I mean, it's command. It's a demand. And those guys understand that, and it's ingrained in them. It's in the culture. But even with that being said, you can always evaluate and pinpoint and pick out some things where we can always do a better job, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
Michigan State is 14th in the country, or 9th in the country in total offense. I think everybody talks about their defense, but 9th in the country in total offense. They seem to just keep getting better. What do you see on their offense?
Consistency, and I think you've seen that over probably about the last 5-6 years. I think they've ended up, as you really start to evaluate, with a bunch of quarterbacks that are really good football players. A couple of them starting in the NFL, 3 of them maybe starting in the NFL now, and they're a product of the system. And when you see that consistency over time, as the next guy steps in, they get better and better and better. And they're a tough, hard-nosed, physical group with some skill and a quarterback that can control everything.
This has turned into such a big game and kind of a rivalry almost between the two schools. And you have friends on that coaching staff. I mean, does that make it even a little bit surreal for you that it's such a big game that you have friends on that staff?
Yeah, I think in this business you got friends a lot of places, and start to evaluate what are friends. I mean, friends would be somebody you probably talk to on a weekly basis or maybe a monthly basis, and if that's the case, I don't know that I have a whole lot of friends. So, but the reality is there's a lot of people over there that yes, I've known, I've worked with, and have some long-standing relationships with.
Look, what's led to the increase in turnovers that you guys are getting? Interceptions are up this year from last year. Is it as simple as pressure and being in the right place?
No, I think it's as simple as guys making plays. You like to say you're coaching it and you're teaching it and you're talking about it and you're stressing it. And it's not that we haven't done that in the past. It's when guys have had an opportunity to make them, they've made them. The ball bounces up in the air, I think, twice last week, and we catch both of them. And that's not just misfortune. That's not just good fortune. That's not just, hey, you're playing hard. That's just luck. No, that's guys having the ability to make the plays when they're there, and having those players on the field that can do it. But also they're in a good position, and they're busting it.
How do you feel about your defense now compared to how you felt about it going into last year, the championship game?
I mean, again, you're talking at different times of the year too, and I know what you're trying to get at, and comparing to say, hey, you feel good about things. And like I told the guys the other day, the hardest thing is not to handle criticism. The hardest thing sometimes is to handle praise. So just when you think you've started to get better and you're where you want to be, that's the things that cause letdowns and different things like that. So, not what we learn from the past and those kinds of things, but we're kind of that evaluation of a daily basis that we know where we want to get to, we want to move forward. We're not there yet, but we know we're on the right track.
What do you think of Joey's sack celebration?
I couldn't tell you much about it because I never got many sacks myself, so the celebration things were not big for me. Being a wrestler, growing up as a wrestler, I don't think celebrations were much in the mix in the wrestling. So, everybody's got their own little thing. I think as long as he continues to have the opportunity to do it, I really love it.
Coach, I'm not sure. He does, he's very active on social media. He seems like a big hit with the fans, not just because of what he does on the field. Is that something that you are aware of? You guys monitor or watch what he does, or describe how he is off the field a little bit?
No, we monitor everything, but sometimes you have other people that do it. I don't follow and try to read up every single thing he does. It's like your own kids. I mean, obviously you want to follow them and know exactly what they're doing, but the reality is when they get to a certain age, you got to trust them. And if there's something that we didn't like or something, I'm sure we would address it and talk to him about it. But they still are 18 to 22-year-olds, and hopefully they're using it in the right platform. But I can't say anything. I mean, for what he does on the field, what he does in practice, what he does on an everyday basis, I love the way he's growing and his maturity and where he's moving towards.
From Coach, recruiting, though, is it good to have a player who seems to be gaining some popularity? I mean, that people notice nationwide a little bit?
No, it's great for everything. I mean, it's great for our defense. It's great for our team. It's great for our university. And it's great for recruiting as well. The Block O sells. So there's going to be somebody, and I guess you'd say the fortunate thing now is it's a positive image. It's a positive thing. And at times, though, the Block O makes it difficult too. If there's something that's not going well, whether you're not playing well or something like that, then they're gonna be on that too. But again, I think these guys understand what they're, what the name means on the front of their jersey and their chest, and they hopefully they're using the platform in the right way, and most importantly that they're preparing, and on Saturdays they play like they talk and some of the things that they do.
Coach, I'm not sure I saw Armani Reeves out there on Saturday. Just what's his status? Did he play on Saturday? Will he be in there?
I don't know. I mean, you guys probably can look at the things. I don't think he was out there Saturday. He did not play.
Is he going to be able to play this week?
I don't know that. I don't know that. He was not there for us this past week, and you probably have to talk with Coach or the doctors to find out. We don't. Sometimes we're the last to know on some of those things. But he was not with us last week.
Luke, I know you want to get pressure on every quarterback you face. With Connor Cook, how does he seem to handle that? Is he going to stay in and make the throw? Is he going to try to roll away with it and throw on the run? How does he handle that stuff?
He handles it pretty well. I think he's maybe one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the nation right now. I'm not sure if there are one or two in the nation in giving up sacks. And that's a combination to a lot of things. That's a combination to a great running game. That's a combination to great play passes. That's a combination to good blocking. But that's also a combination of a guy that knows what he's doing with the football too. And if it's not there, he's willing to get rid of it. And he takes some chances too. I mean, obviously he threw some balls in there against us last year that are, that still I'm like, wow. And you see some of those shots on film too that he has confidence in what he's doing. He has confidence in his receivers, and like you said, as a whole, all in all, that's why they're where they are offensively.
Are there ways in which he has even grown since that game that you talk about?
Well, I'm sure. I mean, again, he was a little, I wouldn't say an unknown last year as he started for 3/4 of the year, but truly performing in a big-time game after that one, he went on, obviously, to win the Rose Bowl. So that can do nothing but help your confidence. And when you have confidence in this game, great things happen.
Luke, when you think back to last year's game,